RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
And the run-up and the kick, and kicking it away is Nick Holford, and it's taken by one of the up men for the Oilers at the 20, out across the 30 to the 35 to the 40-yard line goes Devin Gaddy, and the Oilers will start with very good field position, 1st and 10, just shy of their own 40-yard line, out at the 39.
Yeah, they do have good field position. That was a nice tackle by the Explorers, Sean Utley, on Gaddy. This really could be a very good game tonight, Sam. One of the better games, I think, in the area.
The Oilers spread it, and they won't be afraid to throw it, and Marquette has not had the propensity to stop throwing football teams. Aaron Ragusa, their sophomore quarterback, has completed 50% of his passes this season, so the Oilers come out 1st and 10 from their own 39, and Ragusa rolls to his right, looking downfield. Now lets it go. He has a man open out at the 46-yard line, making the reception for the Oilers, number 35, Jake Hughes. And Hughes just sat down in the middle of the field and picked up 6 out to the 45.
You know, Sam, we've been watching Ragusa, well, it seems like for a few years now, but this is only his second year, but he's a 2-year starting quarterback, and he throws the ball awful well, and that has been Marquette's Achilles heel, defending the pass.
He's a big kid, too, 6 foot, 200 pounds. 2nd and 4 Oilers, Ragusa. From the shotgun, lets it go over the middle. It's incomplete that time. He threw it into some tight coverage. The intended receiver was Dylan Doris, but he couldn't get a hand on it. In fact, nobody did. And now a 3rd down play for the Oilers, 3rd and 4 from their own 45-yard line.
And I'm going to guarantee you, Sam, Coach Parmentier for the Oilers, he's a good coach. He knows what Marquette's weakness is on defense. He's seen the past few weeks these teams, Greenville and then last week Litchfield, throw the ball against Marquette, so he's going to come out and throw it all night long.
3rd and 4 Oilers. Ragusa sets up a screen over the middle and misfires as Adam Grace was the intended receiver, and he just threw it behind Grace. He had blockers out in front, and I think if they had completed that pass, there was a good chance they were going to pick up the 1st down.
They would have at least got those 4 yards, Sam, and they may have gotten a lot more, but yeah, Ragusa misfired on that one.
So now Ragusa back in punt formation, back deep to return for the Explorers is Dalton Holm. He stands back at his own 20-yard line. Holm, both the offensive and defensive back of the week last week for the Knights of Columbus Quarterback Club. Ragusa's short kick hits and takes a Wood River bounce and rolls down to the Explorer 15-yard line, just outside the 15, and that's where the Explorers will start 1st and 10. What's that stat you've told me all these years? If you don't feel that punt, how many extra yards do they get on average?
On average, 17 yards that ball bounces, and if you really watch football closely, you'll see that really holds true. That's on a grass field. Now you get on, in the college and pros on a artificial field, and it will go even farther. That's why it's so important to come up and fair catch that ball.
1st and 10 Explorers. Dalton Holm gets the start here tonight. First start in 3 weeks. He played most of the game at quarterback last week, but he did not start. And here's the give to the fullback. And that's Derek Sterrett, and he goes nowhere. The Oilers stack him up. 3 Oilers met him before he could even hit the hole, and Holm was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. I'm sorry. Sterrett lucky.
That's Marquette's main play, their bread and butter play, as we say. A play I'm sure John Rogers loves, and that's that midline option where the fullback goes right up over center and the quarterback reads him. In that case, the quarterback gave it to Sterrett, and Sterrett got stacked up by the Oilers.
2nd and 10, Marquette just shy of their own 16-yard line. Receivers left and right. They put a man in motion to the right side, and this time Holm follows Sterrett through the hole, and Dalton Holm picks up maybe 2, but not much more. And it's going to be 3rd and long for the Explorers on their first possession of the night.
And that, too, is a design play where the quarterback reads the fullback through, and if he sees an opening, he'll just take that ball and follow the fullback up through the hole. But again, the Oilers played a very good defense against that.
The Oilers went 3 and out. Now the Explorers facing 3rd and 8 from their own 18-yard line. They send John Piper wide to the right side. Jack Miller wide left. And it's Michael Ford in the left slot with a wing to the left as well. Holm back to throw. Looks right now, sets up the screen to the left side. Completes it out there to LaShawn Whedon, and Whedon takes it out to the 25-yard line. He's going to be very, very close to a first down. In fact, it may be so close they may want to measure.
I think he got it, Sam. I think he just got enough yardage to get that first down.
Well, they're not going to believe you. They're going to measure. So Whedon, who was set up as the wing to the left side, slipped out there behind Ford and Miller, who set up that screen. And Holm did a good job of selling it to the right. Now they're not going to measure. They say it is indeed a first down on the 8-yard pickup from Holm to Whedon, 1st and 10 Explorers from their own 26-yard line. Receivers left and right. Double wing formation, a man in motion to the right side, and they hand it to Michael Ford on that jet play. He turns it upfield and gets a couple, 3 tough yards. He lost the football, but they say he was down before it came loose. He took it out to just shy of the 30-yard line, a gain of about 4 on that carry for Michael Ford.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something, Sam. That jet play, that used to be the Oilers' favorite play back when Coach Carter was here, and the young man who ran that play to perfection was Travis Williams, who then went on to Illinois. Travis is on the coaching staff here for the Oilers.
2nd down and 6, Explorers from their own 30-yard line. Marquette's first possession of the night. Here is the give to Sterrett up the middle. Big hole. He's got first down yardage as he rambles out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 8 on that carry and the second first down of this possession for the Explorers.
Yeah, I tell you what, that looked like Ragusa who made the tackle there, and had Ragusa not made that tackle on Sterrett, Sterrett might have taken that all the way.
1st and 10 Marquette from their own 38. The clock rolling with 8:15 remaining in the first quarter. The Oilers took the opening kickoff, got a good return, went 3 and out. Punted, and the Explorers started deep in their own territory, back at their own 15-yard line. They now have it 1st and 10 at their own 38. Here is the give to LaShawn Whedon on a wing counter, and Whedon crosses the 40 and takes it out to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 4 on that carry.
Yeah, Whedon's a young sophomore running back from Marquette, and I tell you what, Sam, he's probably the fastest man on the team. But he's not been carrying the ball a whole lot yet this season, and already tonight, I think we've seen him catch one ball and then carry the ball, so he's touching it more than he has in the past few games.
Whedon getting his first start, replacing Tyler Moore, who has left the team. 2nd down and 6 for the Explorers from their own 42. And Holm on a quarterback draw gains maybe a yard, if that much, as he took just a 2-step drop and then took off up the middle. He did gain a yard out to just shy of the 49-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Explorers.
You know, Sam, I don't know if it's the uniforms that the Oilers wear or not. They have those dark brownish, even the dark maroonish uniforms, and they look big out there. They look bigger than Marquette, I think.
3rd and 5 for the Explorers, just outside their own 48-yard line. Or 43-yard line, I'm sorry. They put a man in motion to the left side, and Holm drops to throw. They set up a screen up the middle. Holm makes the catch, but he tripped over one of the blockers. Bloomberg had gone down, and Holm, as he caught the football, fell over Bloomberg, and they ended up losing 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, that was Sterrett taking that screen pass from Holm, and Bobby Bloomberg gets credit for the tackle there because Sterrett did not see him, and he tripped right over him.
So now it's 4th and 7 for the Explorers from their own 41-yard line. The shame of that is that play was going to work. And now The Explorers do not come out in punt formation, facing 4th and 8 from their own 41, and now Wood River calls timeout because they were expecting a punt, and Marquette did not show a punt formation. We'll see what happens after the timeout. 6:03 remaining first quarter. It's scoreless at Memorial Stadium in Wood River, the Oilers and the Explorers. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Red or black, silver or gold, new or used. At First Mid-America Credit Union, they know options are important to you. That's why they've made relationships with local dealerships where you'll receive all the extras with First Mid-America Credit Union's low rates and financing done on the spot. All you have to do is decide what you want. Your car, our loans, they're made for each other. www.1stmidamerica.org or call 618-258-3168 to speak to a representative.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Following the Oiler timeout, the Explorers now come out in punt formation. John Piper stands back at his own 26, awaiting the snap, and now the Oilers have nobody back. And Piper gets the kick away. It will hit at the 35 and die after about a 1-yard Marquette bounce. So the Explorers didn't get a good bounce there, as the Oilers didn't put anybody back after the timeout because Marquette had not been in punt formation before the timeout.
But I tell you, the Oilers sent 3 men after Piper, the punter, and where they came awful close to blocking that. Piper took a long time to get that punt off.
1st and 10 Oilers from their own 34, so they've still got good field position. They started their first possession at their own 39. But went 3 and out. The Explorers picked up 2 first downs on their first possession before they had to punt. And Ragusa from the shotgun turns and hands it to Adam Grace, and up the middle goes the Oiler fullback. And he gets little or nothing as he is hit by a couple of Marquette tacklers. The first being
Sean Haley was there, so it looked like.
A.J. Lipka was there as well.
And A.J. Lipka.
You'd like to think the lineman got there before the linebacker, but that's not always the case. A gain of a yard on that carry for Grace. 2nd and 9 for the Oilers from their own 35-yard line. A pair of receivers to each side of the field. Ragusa rolls to his right. The short side of the field looks over the middle, has his man. He completes it to number 35. That's Jake Hughes. And Hughes takes it out across the 40 to the 41-yard line, a gain of 6 on that completion.
And I like that little rollout that Ragusa does there. It gives him more time to throw the ball. Also, the smart thing Ragusa was doing on that play was rolling to his right side. He is a right-handed thrower. And a couple weeks ago, Sam, you and I were talking about how come so many of these right-handed quarterbacks are being rolled out to their left, which is a very tough ball to throw even in the NFL.
Their leading receiver, Colby Hall, not in uniform. He's got his jersey on, but he's on the sideline, apparently with an injury. Now on 3rd and 3, Ragusa drops a football, and he is brought down quickly by Bob Bloomberg, who was there to bring him down. Ragusa just dropped it as he was rolling to his left all the way back at the 31-yard line, and that will go as a loss of 10 yards on the play.
And I just talked about that, a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left, and there they had Ragusa roll to his left, but he just dropped the ball, and he was lucky to get it back.
So they had 3rd and short, and had negative yards on 3rd down, and now Ragusa will kick it away. It's a high short kick, and this time Holm comes up and fields it and fumbles it, but the Explorers cover it. There to cover it is Brad Inning all the way out at the 47 or 48-yard line. Holm came running up and really didn't have anybody in his face, just let it go right through the breadbasket. And lucky for Dalton Holm, Brad Inning was there coming back to cover it up.
Well, from up here, it looked like Dalton Holm made the cardinal sin of taking his eyes off the ball. He saw the ball coming down, and then he assumed where it was going to be, and he started looking at the defenders coming down, running at him. and the ball went right through his gut, as you said.
A short kick, 1st and 10 for the Explorers from their own 47. A pair of receivers to each side of the field, and now they come out in that pistol formation. They put Ford in motion to the right side, fake the handoff to stare it up the middle, and now Holm tried to turn the left corner, is going to lose yardage as he gets back to the 46, but not much further. It'll be a loss of a yard for Dalton Holm.
And that was last week that the Explorers unveiled that pistol offense, which I'm sure you and John Rogers explained to the listeners last week. That's when the quarterback lines up about 3 yards deep, and 2 yards behind him is the fullback. So it's a modified shotgun is what it is.
2nd down and 11 for the Explorers from their own 46-yard line. Piper to the right side, Whedon in the slot, Miller wide left with Ford in the slot. From that pistol formation with Sterrett standing behind Holm. Holm drops to throw, lets it go down the right sideline. He's got Whedon wide open inside the Oilers 40 down to the 35-yard line. That'll go for a pickup of 19 yards on the completion from Dalton Holm to LaShawn Whedon.
Yeah, that was a nice throw by Dalton Holm. Nice catch by LaShawn Whedon. Although he did get up slow, he's limping right now back there in the huddle, but I'm sure he's okay.
So Whedon's 2nd reception of the night for a total of 27 yards.
Well, he's still limping up to the line of scrimmage. Coach needs to get him out of there and find out what's wrong with him and get somebody healthy in.
1st and 10 Explorers at the Oiler 35-yard line. The first incursion into enemy territory for either team. And here's the handoff to Sterrett right up the middle. Derek Sterrett with a big hole inside the 35, inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 6 on that carry for Sterrett.
I tell you what, the offensive line of Marquette that time did a pretty good job of opening up the holes, and Sterrett had a lot of running room there.
2nd and 4 Marquette at the Oiler 29-yard line. We're down to 2:10 and counting remaining in a thus far scoreless first quarter. Receivers left and right. Holm in the pistol formation with Sterrett behind him. The give is to Sterrett. Derek Sterrett off the right side inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 2, and it's going to be 3rd and short for the Explorers.
Yeah, and I tell you, that was a big tackle there by the Oilers, number 79. I'm looking on the roster here, and I don't see a 79, so I can't tell you who that was.
So now 3rd and 2 for the Explorers at the Oiler 27-yard line. Now Marquette sends Jimmy Lawless wide to the left side, Ford in the left slot, Piper and Whedon to the right side, but here's the give to Sterrett up the middle. He coughs up the football, but the Explorers still loose, and finally Marquette comes away with it. On the football for the Explorers in the end was Michael Cook. I think 2 or 3 different guys got their hands on it, and it's going to be very close to a first down right at the 25-yard line. Sterrett had first down yardage and then some, but as he was hit initially down at about the 23-yard line, he coughed the football up, and then they batted that football around until finally Michael Cook got on it. And now it may be close enough for a measurement. It is. They'll bring the sticks in from the far side of the field. So Marquette still hasn't solved that fumbling problem.
No, Sterrett has fumbled every game that he's been in the backfield, at least that I can recall, and that's been his Achilles heel, so to speak, that he does put the ball on the ground a lot. As you said, Sam, Marquette had 3 shots at that ball. The Oilers had 1 shot, and had Marquette gotten it earlier, they would have had a first down.
They have it anyway.
They did get it anyhow, okay.
Just by the nose of the football, as they put the ball down squarely on the 25-yard line. 4 first downs here in the first quarter for the Explorers as the clock ticks down from 50 seconds remaining. 1st and 10 Marquette at the Oiler 25-yard line. Receivers left and right. Holm in the pistol formation. Drops to throw, looking to his left. Now he takes off up the middle and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Explorers.
Well, and Holm was forced to pull the ball down and run because the Oilers had good pass defense on that play. There was no Explorers open. Holm saw that, so he tucked the ball in and just got back to the line of scrimmage.
The Explorers will not have to run a play if they don't want to, as they come to the line of scrimmage with 12 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10 Marquette at the Oiler 25-yard line. Again from the pistol formation, Holm puts a man in motion to the left side. fakes the handoff to Sterrett, now runs the option to the left side, pitches it back to LaShawn Whedon, who pounds his way down inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7 as they ran the option to the left side. And that's the end of the first quarter, a scoreless first quarter in Wood River. And the Explorers will face second and short when we resume.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
First and goal, Marquette at the Oilers' 6-yard line. Again, under center. This time the give is to Sterrett, the fullback, and he dives forward for only about a yard down just inside the 5-yard line. It'll be second and goal.
Well, you're exactly right about Hahn being a shifty runner. He's your typical running quarterback in a high school offense, one who's going to run the ball more than he throws it, and he runs the ball better than he throws it.
And he seems to run better from the quarterback position than he does when he lines up as a halfback. Two games this year, the last two before this one, they started him at halfback and started Jack Miller at quarterback. And every time they handed him the football, he just couldn't get going. Second and goal at the 5 for the Explorers. Halm rolling to his right. It's a run all the way, and Halm to the end zone. He's in for the touchdown. Dalton Halm, a 5-yard touchdown run. It comes with 10:48 remaining here in the first quarter, and the Explorers break on top. 10:48 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I tell you, you still got to give the Oilers defense credit. I mean, Marquette may have just scored, but they've held Marquette out of the end zone until almost 2 minutes into the second quarter, and they've been playing a good, a tough, hard-hitting defense all night.
So now the Explorers will attempt to kick the extra point. It's going to be Jimmy Lawless. Nick Schwank, who had kicked earlier in the season, is on crutches. He's a soccer player. Hurt himself playing soccer, so Jimmy Lawless with his first extra point attempt of the season, and wow, that looked great. Good kick by Lawless. Good. Well, I mean, good form, and it went through, so
you're right, it's great, yeah.
Jimmy Lawless with the extra point, and with 10:48 remaining in the second quarter, the score now, Marquette 7, the Oilers nothing.
I'll grab the birthday cake. You bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
Marquette will kick it away. Nick Holford pounds it down the middle, and the Oilers return from their own 18. Right up the middle goes the big running back, Jake Hughes, and he crosses the 35 out to the 36-yard line. So the Oilers have had good field position on all three of their possessions, but they've yet to register a first down.
No, for some reason their offense right now is not clicking, and I think that reason is that Colby Hall is standing on the sideline, and that was Ragusa. At least I understand that was Ragusa's main man to go to.
First and 10 Oilers, and there's the snap over the head of Ragusa. He goes back, picks it up on one bounce, and then airs it out, and it goes right through the hands of his intended receiver, Cody Engler. Engler on the sideline, the near sideline, up at the 50-yard line, and Ragusa did a great job to pick that one up on one bounce as the snap went over his head.
Yeah, that could have been tragic for the Oilers because that ball did go over Ragusa's head. He turned around, caught up with it. It took one bounce, came right back to him, and he almost made a big play out of nothing. Had Engler held onto the ball, they had a first down.
Well, it went right through Engler's hands, but he might have been surprised when the ball got there so quickly after seeing that the snap went over his quarterback's head. Now on second down, Ragusa rolls to his left and puts it right. Oh, it's intercepted by Jack Miller off the hands. The intended receiver out there was Levi Lawson. It went right off his hands, just a little swing pass out to the left. And Jack Miller does a great job to dig it off the turf before it hit the ground.
And, you know, in defense of Aaron Ragusa, the paper tomorrow is going to say he threw an interception right there, which he did, but that ball went right out of the hands of one of his receivers. And then Jack Miller came up with a nice play on that and made the interception. So that puts the Marquette in business on the Oilers side of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, you can't blame the quarterback for an interception when it hits the receiver right in the hand.
Right.
He just pops it up into the air, and Miller did a great job. Now here is Dalton Hom, and he goes deep down the right sideline. He's got a man open. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown, Explorers!
Nice catch.
That was John Piper, a diving catch at the goal line. One of the best catches you'll ever want to see in your life.
I tell you what, Sam, you are exactly right. That was one tremendous catch. I thought that ball, and maybe you thought the same thing, was overthrown, and Piper didn't quite catch up to it, but what he did is he left his feet. Made a nice dive, laying himself out, and that's something coaches love to see when a receiver lays himself out like that and makes a catch and goes right into the end zone. Great catch, John Piper.
A 41-yard touchdown pass from Dalton Hom to John Piper, and now Jimmy Wallace has the extra point. That touchdown comes just 31 seconds after the first touchdown of the night. So 2 plays, the turnover, and then the Explorers go deep. 41 yards from Hom to John Piper, but I'll tell you what, Dalton Hom.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance, today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Everybody's saying buy American, but not me. I just want you to come drive American. Come out today and see for yourself. No one has a more impressive selection of vehicles than Ford. Whether it's a Focus, Fusion, Escape, Edge, F-150, or any other Ford product, no one can beat Ford's quality. Not Toyota, not Honda, not anybody.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years, just off Route 3 or Highway 67 in Alton, or at RiverBender.com.
And get on your feet for these guys. Nick Holford has the ball keyed at his own 40-yard line, and he kicks it away, a high end-over-end kick. And the Oilers let it hit and finally pick it up and try to return up the middle, and a big hit. The return man bounces off the first tackler, but LaShawn Whedon finally brings him down. That was Brian Melvin on the return. No, check it. I think it's 28. Levi Lawson. And he had a hard time picking it up to begin with, and then bounced off the first tackler, but LaShawn Whedon brought him down. And the Oilers now start in poor field position from their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, that was Brett Greenwell, number 7 from Marquette, who came up and made a good smack on the running back, but did not wrap him up.
Well, I still can't get over that catch by John Piper. Now here's the handoff to Adam Grace, trying to work the left side for the Oilers. And Grace picks up maybe a yard, but not much more.
Well, and we've seen a lot of football in the past 20-plus years, Sam, and I tell you what, that absolutely was one of the best catches you'll ever see.
Piper, just a sophomore, he had a big night against Greenville when Marquette scored a season high. What did they score that night?
34 points. Well, and Greenville's where John Piper turned his whole season around. Up until then, he'd been dropping quite a few balls, but he gained his confidence in that Greenville game.
And caught a touchdown pass last week. Now Ragusa rolls to his right. He is wrapped up and brought down by Derek Sterrett. The Explorers sent a couple of linebackers on that play, including Derek Sterrett, and before Ragusa could even get back and set up, Sterrett was in his face, and Sterrett drops him to the turf back at the 9-yard line. So that goes as a loss of 9 on that sack. It's the second time Ragusa's been sacked. Aaron Ragusa has completed only 2 of 6 passes for 12 yards. His counterpart, Dalton Holm, is 4 of 4 for 66 yards.
Well, at least 3 of Ragusa's passes were hit Oilers in the hands and were dropped.
Now 3rd and nearly 20 for the Oilers, and Ragusa from the shotgun pump fakes. Now he's in trouble at the goal line, and he's brought down just outside the goal line, maybe at the 2-yard line. So another loss on that play, a loss of 7. And I think among others, that was Bob Bloomberg in there to bring Ragusa down.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Sam. Ragusa made a nice play right there, because what he was doing was he was looking for the man out in the flat. Might have been a halfback out in the flat. Marquette smelled it out, and they had 2 men on that guy. Ragusa got ready to throw it. He saw where Marquette was. If he'd have thrown it, it would have been a Marquette touchdown.
Ragusa picked it off in his own end zone. The Explorers went for the block, and it takes a Marquette hop out at about the 29, and the Oilers down it at the 25-yard line, and now Marquette already leading 14-0. With 8:05 remaining here in the second quarter, we'll start 1st and 10 at the Oiler 25.
And if Marquette puts it up right now, what you're seeing is they're going for the throat right now. They want to tack on as many points as they can. It would not surprise me right now, 1st and 10 on the 25 for Marquette to throw the ball down into the end zone.
They come out of that pistol formation. Miller wide left with Ford in the slot. Piper wide right with Whedon in the slot. They put Ford in motion to the right side, and it's a bad snap, and Holm goes back and picks it up. Now takes off with it right up the middle and takes it back to the 33-yard line. It'll go as a 8-yard loss. As Holm just, it was a low snap. He couldn't get a hand on it. Went back, picked it up, and tried to make lemonade out of lemons, but it ends up being an 8-yard loss.
Yeah, he's lucky it's only an 8-yard loss. Let's go back to John Piper for a minute, Sam. We've been talking about his great catch, but I tell you what, throughout this whole season, I've been most impressed by John Piper's blocking out there. And that tells you a lot also about a wide receiver when they spend so much time on blocking.
2nd and 18, Explorers at the Oilers 33-yard line. They set up the middle screen, completed to Sterrett. Oh, the Oilers do a good job of breaking that down, although Sterrett drags tacklers with him all the way down inside the 24-yard line. He got about an extra 8 yards on that just on his own, as the Oilers really infiltrated that screen, but Sterrett ends up taking it all the way down to the 23-yard line, and that ends up being a gain of about 10 on that play.
Well, I'll tell you though, Sam, as an ex-coach up here watching, his coach, Coach Nelson, will point out on films tomorrow that had Sterrett been patient and stayed behind his blockers, the Oilers would not have infiltrated that. He ran to the outside of his blockers where the Oilers were. If he'd have stayed in there, shoot, he might have scored.
3rd and 8, Explorers at the Oiler 23-yard line. From the pistol formation, Holm, 2-step drop. Now swings it out to Sterrett on the right sideline. Derek Sterrett, some tough yardage inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. But he'll still be shy of the first down by a couple of yards.
Yeah, it'll be at least 4th and 2, it looks like.
He picked up 5 on that play. Holmes still does not have an incomplete pass. 4th, and we'll call it 3 for the Explorers at the Oiler 19-yard line. The clock stopped, the clock rolling now with 5:55 remaining in the second quarter. Marquette leading it 14-0. The first quarter was scoreless. Receivers left and right now. Holm under center on 4th and 3. And he keeps it himself, tries to turn the left corner. He is going to be stacked up. Now he pitches it back to Whedon, and Whedon is stacked up at the 17, and I think he's going to be a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, he's short, Sam. There's no doubt about that from up here at least.
A good job by the Oiler defense. He's 2 yards short. He only got to the 18, picked up only a yard. And the Oilers strung out Alm, and he had his pitch back there, pitched it back to Whedon, and they still were able to run Whedon all the way to the near sideline and bumped him out of bounds. Brought him down at the 18-yard line. They needed to get to the 16, so the Oilers hold. And a good stand by the Oiler defense there.
That's exactly how you play that triple option. Coach Parmentier's defense did a great job that play.
First and 10, East Alton-Wood River from their own 18-yard line. Now they didn't have enough personnel on the field, so they call a timeout. It comes with 5:25 remaining in the first half. The score, Marquette 14, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
you don't know Jack Schmidt
in Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
And we've got plenty more sports coverage for you tomorrow here on the Big Z at 10 o'clock at Sports Talk with Brent Berkland, followed by the Illini game. And we'll tell you more about that coming up. First and 10 Oilers from their own 18-yard line. Here is the give to Adam Grace, and Grace stacked up after a short game. He got 2 out to the 20-yard line. Grace 3 carries for 4 yards. Illinois and Penn State at 11 o'clock tomorrow, live from Happy Valley. Then about 2:30 following the Illini game, Mississippi Valley Conference action as Civic Memorial playing at Mascoutah tonight. You'll hear that game tomorrow afternoon. Then about 4:30, back to the South Central Conference, Greenville and Roxana. Then live 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, it's high school soccer, the Explorers and the Redbirds from Gordon Moore Park. So join us live for that tomorrow evening at 7. Second and 8 Oilers. Again, they don't have enough people on the field. So again, they call a timeout. That's the Oilers' final timeout here in the first half. It comes with 4:45 remaining in the half. It's Marquette 14, East Alton-Wood River nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got Thorpe, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from.
Yeah! Woo!
Second and 8, East Alton-Wood River from their own 20-yard line. Aaron Ragusa takes the snap. He's got plenty of time. Lets it go deep down the middle, and that is incomplete. First through the hands of Jack Miller, and then through the hands of the intended receiver, Dylan Doris. Doris was about 5 yards behind Miller, but Miller was lucky enough to get up high enough to get a hand on the football, and that was enough to keep Doris from catching it out near midfield, but Doris had Miller beat.
Well, if Ragusa gets a little bit more air underneath that ball, that's a touchdown.
So now 3rd and 8 Oilers. East Alton-Wood River has 16 yards of total offense so far here in the first half. On the 3rd down play, Ragusa rolls to his right, lets it go down the right sideline. Incomplete off the fingertips of Cody Engler. That's going to bring about a punting situation for the Oilers. Engler had a step, but the pass was delivered just a little bit too high for him.
Well, as we said, we knew the Oilers would come out throwing the ball, but, your passing game will only be effective if you've also got a rushing attack, too. And what we've seen so far tonight is the Oilers really don't have much of a rushing attack.
But boy, Ragusa's got an arm.
He's got a good arm.
Yeah. So now he's back in punt formation, standing back at the 10-yard line. He gets a good snap and gets the kick away. And the Explorers will let this one hit at the Oiler 42-yard line, and it's down by the Oilers at about the 43 as it just bounced straight up in the air. And so now Marquette will take over once again in Oiler territory. Marquette put together a couple of first downs on their first possession, then had to punt. Scored on their second possession, put together a 60-yard touchdown drive. Then following an Oiler turnover, the Explorers with a quick strike, a 41-yard touchdown pass from home to John Piper, and then the Explorers were stopped on downs on their last possession. So here they start 1st and 10 at the Oiler 43, and another low snap, and again, Holm goes back and picks it up, and about 6 Oilers are there to bury him all the way back to Marquette 44-yard line. A big loss on that play, and if you're going to run that pistol formation, you better get the snap into the hands of the quarterback.
And that ball, Sam, that ball never got off the ground. I mean, it just rolled back to the left side of the quarterback. He had no shot at it.
About a 12-yard loss on that play. Second down and 22 for the Explorers, just shy of their own 45-yard line. Piper wide right with Ford in the slot. Miller wide left. A tight end to the left. And the snap to Holm in that pistol formation. He rolls to his right, lets it go downfield, and it's incomplete. It was tipped by Adam Grace. And the intended receiver, Michael Ford, had trouble adjusting to the deflected football, and that's the first incompletion tonight for Dalton Holm.
Yeah, you know, I think Coach Nelson can go back to throwing to Piper. I think Piper can beat his coverage any time tonight. Piper's got a lot of speed. Piper made it to the state finals last year in track. In of all things, the high hurdles, and Marquette doesn't even own a hurdle.
Well, you can just go out there and kneel down and he can jump over you, right? 3rd and 22 for the Explorers from their own 45. Again, a low snap. Holm digs this one off the turf, rolls to his right under heavy pressure, flips it to Whedon. Whedon out across midfield to the Oiler 46-yard line. LaShawn Whedon ended up picking up about 10 after Dalton Holm just flipped him the football. And now we have an Oiler down and injured all the way back at the Marquette 30-yard line. That was one of the defensive linemen who was pursuing Dalton Holm, and I didn't see how he got hurt. But a 10-yard pickup. A 10-yard pickup on that play, and now they attend to the injured Oiler. So Whedon was pretty much the safety valve, and that is his 3rd reception of the night for a total of 37 yards. Sterrett has caught 3 passes for just 13 yards, and Piper just the 1 reception, the TD reception, for 41 yards. And I'm not sure who the injured player was, but he was one of the guys pursuing Holm. And I don't know, he may have run into one of his own defenders because they had Holm in jeopardy back there. I think about 3 Oilers were converging on Dalton Holm, and then he just flipped it over the defenders. About 2 yards away from him was LaShawn Whedon, and Whedon took off up the near sideline, up the far sideline. Picked up 10, but now it's 4th and 12 for the Explorers at the Oiler 46-yard line, but they won't resume until the injured Oiler is attended to.
Yeah, he is at least out there moving, Sam. I've seen him moving his hand, his arms, moving his legs and stuff.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Whether you're planning for home improvement projects, family vacations, college tuition, or consolidating credit card debt, use your home for what you need. At First Mid-America Credit Union, they offer home equity loans and lines of credit that can lower your costs. For more information, visit www.1stmidamerica.org or call 618-258-3168 to speak to a First Mid-America Credit Union representative.
The injured Oiler, Seth Jones, a 6'1", 250-pound senior, and he's been taken off the field on a cart. Not sure the nature of the injury, but they took all the usual precautions, and now Marquette facing 4th and 12 in punt formation. John Piper gets the kick away. It's a high, deep kick, and it hits inside the Oiler 10 and rolls dead at the Oilers' 6-yard line. And that's another one of those cases where the Oilers would have been better off fielding that. They'd have been out closer to the 20, and now they're all the way back at the 6.
That was a very nice punt by Piper. Piper's done a good job punting this year.
East Alton-Wood River with just, actually negative yardage in the first half. Minus 8 yards in total offense. Now they have to start all the way back at their own 6. With just 2:54 remaining here in the first half. And boy, it's tough when you can't move the football. You put a lot of pressure on your defense, and I can't say that the Oiler defense hasn't done the job here tonight. Now on the first down play, here's the give to the fullback, Adam Grace, and he falls forward for maybe a yard, if anything.
No, I completely agree with you, Sam. The Oiler defense has played a pretty good game so far. It's the Oiler offense that's not getting anything moving, and what the Oilers have to do is they've got to run this clock out, get into the locker room at halftime at being down 14-0 and regroup.
Well, the Explorers aren't going to let them run it out. The only way they're going to run the clock out is if they get a first down, because Marquette just used its first timeout. 2nd and 10 Oilers from their own 6. Marquette sends everybody, and Ragusa fumbles the football, and Marquette comes up with it at the 5-yard line. Now I think they're going to call a safety. They're going to say Ragusa just chucked that ball, and I guess it was a forward pass, but they're going to call intentional grounding. Now the officials talk it over. It was hard to tell whether he threw the football or he fumbled it. And it's going to be a safety for the Explorers as they're going to call intentional grounding against the Oilers. He was in the end zone. That'll be a safety. That'll make it 16-0 for the Explorers, and the Oilers will have to kick the ball to Marquette from their own 20.
Well, that might work out better for the Oilers. You never want to give up points, but they're giving up 2 right there. Otherwise, if they don't call it that way, Marquette gets the ball on the 5-yard line going in. Not that it's a sure thing they'll score, but if they do, of course, that's 6 points. So what the Oilers need to do right now is hold Marquette and still try to get into the locker room being down only 2 scores, 16-0. Well, it's been, in my mind, it's been a pretty quick first half, and part of that is because there's, as you said, only been 1 penalty.
So now with 2:25 remaining in the half, and Marquette now leading 16-0. The Oilers tee it up at their own 15-yard line. Why is it the 15? I guess because of the penalty?
Yeah, no, it's a safety. See, they called it safety.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was the 20.
No, you always kick off from the 15.
Really? Are you sure?
No, I'm not.
No, I thought after safety was always the 20, but it could be because of the penalty they enforced the yardage. Well, now I think Joe Parmentier's asking the same thing. Why are we kicking from the 15?
I used to know this kind of stuff back when I coached, but I've forgotten more stuff than
I remember. How many times did you ever have a quarterback called for intentional grounding in the end zone for a safety? I'll bet that never happened in your coaching career.
I bet it did, but I
just don't remember.
I don't remember. You try not to remember those kind of things.
Those are the things you forget. But I think Joe Parmentier's saying, well, hey, if you called the penalty in the end zone and called it a safety, then you shouldn't also walk off the yardage. And he is hot. I mean, he's chewing on the referee's ear here on the near sideline. The referee finally says, okay, we're going to play it. Joe's not done yet. He's still giving him a piece of his mind. So now the Oilers just squib it up the middle, and it's going to be Michael Ford from the 45. Right down the right sideline, Michael Ford still on his feet. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown. A 48-yard kickoff return for Michael Ford, and the Explorers get those 7 points anyway. So it didn't work out for the Oilers.
No, it sure didn't. I tell you what, when things go bad for the Oilers, they go really bad. They gave up back-to-back touchdowns to the Explorers earlier in the second quarter. And now the Explorers get a safety and they get a kickoff return touchdown. So that's 8 points right there, and they're going for their 9th point right now with the extra point by Jimmy Lawless.
Well, the wheels have come off for the Oilers here in the last few minutes. Really, the second quarter. Now Lawless, a low snap, and Dalton Holm will roll to his right now and throws it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Making the reception was John Piper. So the Explorers add even another point, more than they had intended. And with that extra point, it makes it the Explorers 24, the Oilers nothing, with 2:15 remaining in the half. You're listening to C1570 Radio Sports.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
For Marquette, everything's going right, and boy, sometimes when that locomotive just starts rolling down the tracks, it's hard to stop it from an Oiler perspective.
Sam, with 2:25 left in the half, I was saying all the Oilers need to do is stop Marquette, go into halftime being down 14-0. All of a sudden, 10 seconds later, 2:15 left on the clock, it's 24-0. Yeah, when things go bad for the Oilers, they go bad.
So now Nick Holford kicks it away. A high end-over-end kick will be returned from the Oilers from their own 25. They run a reverse, and here comes a return man to the near sideline. Sidesteps the tackler out across the 40 to midfield, all the way down to the Marquette 44-yard line. On the return, Dylan Torres, after he took the handoff on the reverse, and he made a nifty move at about his own 25-yard line to sidestep an Explorer tackler, and he took it all the way across midfield down to the Marquette 43.
And that was a nice run, and that got the Order sidelines excited. It got the Order crowd excited, and right now they need something good to happen.
So now, Aaron Ragusa brings his team to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Coach Parmentier's down 24 points right now. He's got 2 minutes left in the quarter. He's going to have Ragusa throw that ball long.
Ragusa has completed 2 of 8 for 12 yards and an interception from the shotgun. He drops to throw. He's got time. Over the middle, completes it, and still on his feet at the 30 to the 25-yard line goes Jake Hughes for a pickup of 18 on that play.
This is huge for the Oilers. They could have given up, and they still can give up with being down 24-0, or they can come out right now, move that ball down the field, and score, and that'll be huge for them going into the locker room.
That's the first down of the night for the Oilers. 1st and 10 at the Marquette 25. Ragusa, again, plenty of time over the middle off the hands of Hughes, who was wide open at about the 12-yard line, coming across the middle, and it was really a catchable ball,
Very catchable. I tell you what, Ragusa showed some arm right there. He just gunned that thing in there, and that ball was very catchable. And had it been caught, the receiver would have gained at least another 10 more yards, and who knows, he could have gotten into the end zone.
2nd down and 10 Oilers, 1:41 remaining in the first half. Ragusa on the 2nd down play rolls to his right. Now he takes off up the middle, caught from behind and brought down for maybe a gain of a yard. Grabbing him from behind for the Explorers was Sean Etley. No gain on that play for Ragusa. And now it's 3rd and 10 as the clock runs with 1:20 remaining at the Explorer 25-yard line. Ragusa Plenty of time. Lets it go over the middle, and that is picked off by Jack Miller. His second interception of the night. Now a flag is thrown. But Miller with his second interception of the evening. And I didn't see a receiver anywhere near. Well,
there was a receiver behind Miller. That was well played.
Miller just stepped in front.
Yeah, he stepped in front, made the interception. Very well played.
And the Explorers' first penalty of the night will be a hold on the return. The interception will stand. They'll walk off 10 yards against the Explorers of Marquette. With 1:08 remaining, they'll have the football 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. And this might be a spot if you're Marquette where you just might want to take a knee.
Well, yeah, you can take a knee and go into the locker room, or you can try to hit Piper, get him isolated out there on the sideline, and just heave the ball down, because I don't think the Oilers have anybody who can run with Piper.
Well, the trouble Marquette has had snapping the football to the quarterback deep, though, might give you some pause, and it is a running play. It's LaShawn Whedon with the wing sweep. 2 flags are thrown. Whedon's still on his feet all the way out at the 30-yard line. A 20-yard pickup for Whedon. He did a lot of that on his own, but he also got an illegal block or two.
And the whole thing's going to be called back, yeah.
So the flags are lying back at the 15. They'll walk that off half the distance to the goal line. And now maybe Marquette will consider a knee.
Now they might. And I think you jinxed us, Sam, with, again, about, 2.5 minutes left. You said that there had been no penalties and that the Oilers then got one, and that was the first one of the half. And now
Marquette's had 2.
Marquette's had 2, yeah. I think the Oilers still only have 1, though, don't they?
Yes, they do, but, I don't know, maybe Joe Parmentier woke the referee up when he gave him a piece or 2 of his mind, or 3.
He gave him, yeah.
He got his money's worth, didn't he?
Gave the fans their money's worth, too. Joe's good for that. He's something. He's a great guy.
1st and 12 for the Explorers from their own 8. Receivers left and right, double wing formation. Hall under center. Puts a man in motion to the right side, pitches it back to Derek Sterrett, who wants to throw the football. Lets it go deep down the middle. Whedon wide open, 45, midfield. He's going to go all the way. A 92-yard touchdown pass, and the Explorers score again.
And did you see that block that Piper made downfield?
92 yards from Derek Sterrett to LaShawn Whedon on a halfback option. And the Explorers score again with 29 seconds remaining in the half.
Sterrett always has viewed himself as a quarterback. He tells me that every day at school, that he's a quarterback, and he does have a very good arm. He's also a very good fullback, as we've seen. But he's probably got the strongest arm on the team.
And now Jimmy Wallace will attempt the extra point. And the Explorers don't have the right personnel on the field.
They're missing 1 player.
LaShawn Whedon's 4th reception of the night for 129 yards. Sterrett's first pass. So he's got a touchdown pass, as does Dalton Holm. And now Wallace puts a toe into it, and that is partially blocked, or did he just shank it that bad?
I thought he shanked that one. That was not a great kick, but he has been consistent up until then.
So with 29 seconds remaining in the first half, the score now, Marquette 30. The Oilers nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. 3, 2, 1. The deep kick by Nick Holford, and it's returned by the Oilers from their own 15, and a big hole and a big return for the Oilers. Down the left sideline into Marquette territory goes the return man. That's number 35, Jake Hughes, and he takes it all the way down to the Marquette 30-yard line. The 31, they'll put it down with 18 seconds remaining in the half.
The kicker, the freshman Nick Holford, saved that from being a touchdown. He got over there and pushed the kid out of bounds. Otherwise, he's in the end zone.
1st and 10 for the Oilers at the Marquette 31-yard line. Well, there's no doubt that Ragusa will be firing it downfield. The Oilers have no timeouts remaining. He threw his second interception just moments ago, and 2 plays later, Marquette threw a 92-yard halfback option touchdown pass. And now the Oilers right back into deep Marquette territory. Ragusa drops, looks to his left. Now he wants to take off with it. He's sacked, and that'll be the last play of the half. And at halftime, Marquette will take a big lead to the locker room. It's Marquette's biggest lead of the season at the half. The Explorers 30, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
Sam Stem along with Mike Slaughter back at Memorial Stadium in Wood River, all set for the second half kickoff. The Oilers will kick it away to the Explorers. And back deep from Marquette, John Piper along with LaShawn Whedon, but it's taken by the upman Michael Ford at his own 25 out across the 30, the 35, out to about the 39-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Explorers right there, as they bring a 30-0 lead here into the second half. We were scoreless at the end of one quarter, and as we told you earlier, Marquette scored 14 points in 31 seconds early in the second quarter, then added 16 more in less than 2 minutes right at the end of the half.
Yeah, had it not been for that, as we've said now 3 or 4 times, the Oilers would be in this game at 14-0, and their defense has not played that poorly.
Receiver wide to the left side. Marquette comes out in the double wing formation. Halm under center, fakes the handoff to Starrett, keeps it himself, and they bury him for a loss of a couple of yards. Making the tackle for the Oilers on that play was Mason Webb. No, check that. It was Scott Gibbs. Gibbs in there, and he threw home for a 2-yard loss.
Well, it's on that first play, the Oilers came out fired up. They're not going to quit. Coach Parmentier is too good of a coach to let his team quit. But it remains to be seen just what Marquette comes out and does. Sometimes you get a big lead like this and you lose your concentration.
Marquette has only 27 yards rushing now here tonight. So they've done most of their movement of the football through the airwaves and back to throw. Halm deep down the left side. Piper's open, but what a catch by John Piper. Then they get his face mask still on his feet inside the 20, breaks a tackle. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Unbelievable. John Piper made an unbelievable catch going up over a defender to pull it down, and then broke a couple of tackles even though they got his face mask, and it goes as a 63-yard touchdown pass from Dalton Halm to John Piper.
Yeah, first of all, I cannot believe that Piper even caught the ball because the Oiler defender was right there, and actually I thought the Oiler defender was going to pick off the ball. Then somehow Piper, and don't ask me how, and we were watching it, but somehow Piper came down with the ball. Then the Oiler defender grabbed his face mask. He should have gone down on that, did not. Went down the field 10 more yards, got caught by another Oiler who spun him around, and again, how he stood up, I don't know, but that last 20, 25 yards was all John Piper.
Well, Halm underthrew the ball, and it looked like the Oilers had a chance at an interception, but not so because Piper came back and out-battled the defender for the football, and then ended up, as Mike described, breaking tackles along the way, not being deterred. They clearly grabbed his face mask. And now the extra point attempt off the toe of Jimmy Wallace. High snap, so Halm rolls to his right, just throws it towards the end zone, and that time Piper couldn't make the one-handed catch at the 5-yard line. And so the point after attempt fails. But just another unbelievable catch by John Piper, and he might be having the greatest game any receiver for Marquette's ever had.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
I'll grab the birthday cake. You bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
In 3, 2, 1. Nick Holford has the ball teed at his own 45-yard line. They imposed the face mask penalty against the Oilers on the kickoff. Only a 5-yarder. I think it should have been more than that. But at any rate, here comes Jake Hughes for the Oilers. Right up the middle he goes. Oh, it's not Hughes, but it's a long return, and it might go all the way. No, they catch him from behind. On the return for the Oilers was Levi Lawson, and he takes it all the way down to the Marquette 33-yard line, and he was about a step from breaking that all the way.
And I'll tell you what, Sam, we've been watching this game tonight, and the kickoff return for the Oilers has been their best play.
Well, we said that last week, too, for the Explorers. For much of the game, their best play was the kickoff return, but it's hard to win a game when the best play is your kickoff return.
That's correct.
Now here is a pitch back, and trying to sweep the left side is Jake Hughes, and he takes it inside the 30, down all the way down to the 24-yard line. And a nice gain on that play by Jake Hughes. A gain of 8 on the play. That's their biggest running gainer of the night.
Well, as you said earlier, they only had 8 yards total offense the whole first half.
So they've already matched that here in the second half. Second down and 2, East Alton-Wood River. And now, again, they've got confusion on their personnel, and they have to burn a timeout. 10:06 remaining third quarter. The score, Marquette 36, East Alton-Wood River nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Why is Roberts Motors #1 in Ford certified pre-owned sales in the St. Louis Metro East?
Visit the 169-point inspection all our vehicles go through.
Maybe it's because we've been doing it for over 60 years.
Or is it the large selection we keep in stock at all times?
Personally, I think the answer is all the above. Stop in today and see. Nobody does pre-owned better than Roberts Motors.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years in Alton, Illinois, or on the web at RiverBender.com.
To-do lists rarely need more to do. So, at American Family, we offer a variety of products at affordable prices with the convenience of a single agent. From auto and homeowners to business and life insurance. This is Gerard Fisher with American Family Insurance. Give me a call at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Second and 2 Oilers just inside the Marquette 25-yard line. East Alton-Wood River trailing 36-0 early third quarter. They put a man in motion to the right side, and Ragusa turns and gives it to his fullback, Adam Grace, and he is dumped for a loss on the play. Back at the 27-yard line, a loss of 2, and it's going to bring about 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that was Brad Emmon who came through the line right there unscathed and made the tackle there.
So now 3rd and almost 5 for the Oilers as they put it back closer to the 28-yard line.
Well, no doubt right here, Sam, they're in 4-down territory, so if they don't get the first down right on this play, they'll go for a next play.
Ragusa under center, turns and hands it off. That's Jake Hughes right up the middle. He goes, breaking tackles, first down yardage inside the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line. And a gain of 13 on that carry for Hughes, and only the second first down of the night for the Oilers. But the Oilers have come out here in the second half and gone to a conventional set, and they look like they're just going to try and pound it against Marquette.
Well, that was a nice call by Coach Parmentier. When a team is blitzing you, you run a draw.
First and 10 at the 15, they turn and hand it off. And again, right up the middle goes the running back. Was that Hughes that time again? Yes, it was, Jake Hughes, and he takes it down to the 11-yard line, a gain of 4.
And what I was saying there, Sam, when Marquette blitzes a lot, and what you do against the blitz, you draw against them, or you run screens, or you run quick passes, and that's what the Oilers are doing this half, running these draws. And
second and 6 at the Marquette 11. They pitch it back to Hughes. Nice move to step inside a blocker. Takes it down to about the 6-yard line. Let's say he was down at the 7, a gain of 4 on that carry for Hughes. And Hughes on this series has carried 4 times for 29 yards. It's third and a long yard for the Oilers at the Marquette 6.5-yard line.
Those are tough yards that Hughes has been carrying far.
Hughes, the wing back to the left, split backs behind Ragusa, who turns, rolls to his right. He wants to throw. Now he's under pressure. Brings it back to the left side. Sidesteps one tackler at the 10. He's down to the 5, down to about the 3-yard line, and he's got the first down.
And he got lucky there too, Sam. Did you see him drop the ball? He dropped the ball. He got knocked out of his hands by Michael Ford, and then Ragusa was lucky enough to fall right on it.
But he picked up 4 on the carry. And it's another first down for the Oilers. Their second of this possession. First and goal at the Marquette 3-yard line.
Well, they've had good luck just pounding the ball right at Marquette. So I would, again, run that ball right at them.
We're down to 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Split backs behind the quarterback, Aaron Ragusa. He sets the team, takes the snap, and rolls to his right, looking into the end zone, lets it go for the back of the end zone, incomplete. Really didn't have a receiver there, and more or less just threw it away. It'll be second and goal.
Yeah, it's a good thing he threw it away, because that ball could have been picked off had he thrown it into the field of play. From the 4-yard line, I still think that coach should have just run it right at Marquette. He's had some success this quarter at running the ball right at Marquette.
Second and goal, Oilers. The line of scrimmage, the Marquette 3-yard line. Split backs behind Ragusa. They put a man in motion to the right side. Actually, he was just lined up on the wrong side of the field. Now here is the give to Grace, and Grace, spinning off a tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, might have gained about a half a yard. And it's going to be third and goal for the Oilers at the Marquette 3-yard line.
Well, the Oilers have 2 shots to get it into the end zone. There's no doubt that if they don't get it in on third down, they'll go for it on fourth. They're not going to kick a field goal, not being down 36-0. So they've got 2 shots to pick up 3 yards here.
Well, actually, Grace lost about a half yard. Now it's clearly third and goal at the 4. Split backs behind Ragusa, turns, gives it to the fullback, and that's Grace. And Grace stacked up shy of the goal line. That was a big scrum, and I don't know how much forward progress they're going to give him. I think they give him the 1-yard line. So he picked up 3 on that carry.
Yeah, he got a good 3. I tell you what he did very well is he got into that scrum, as you said. He just kept his feet a-pumping, and he just about got that ball across the goal line.
And the Oilers will keep the offense on the field, facing fourth and goal at the Explorer 1-yard line.
I think I just try to quarterback sneak it here.
Grace and Hughes lined up behind Ragusa, and Ragusa tries the quarterback sneak, and he doesn't get it. They stacked him up. They were ready for that. The Explorer defense holds, and the Oilers, despite picking up more yardage on that drive than they had in the entire game and picking up a couple of first downs, come up a yard shy.
Well, and that just came down to who's the better man, the Oiler offensive line or the Explorer defensive line. And on that particular play, the Explorer defensive line won.
So now the Marquette offense back out onto the field with 6:34 remaining here in the third quarter. Marquette leading it 36-0. A scoreless first quarter, and then Marquette outscored the Oilers 30-0 in the second quarter. And Marquette has the only points here in the third quarter, although the Oilers, after a good kickoff return, threatened but came up a yard shy. 1st and 10 Marquette from their own 1-yard line. Dalton Holm under center, and now I think Marquette flinched.
I think the Oilers jumped offside, Sam.
Well, the Oilers may have gone first.
Of course, the Oilers are pointing at Marquette, and Marquette's pointing at the Oilers.
It's against Marquette. Michael Cook, the left guard, moved. And he was trying to say, well, he moved because an Oiler came into the neutral zone, but the officials didn't see it that way, and that cost Marquette a half yard.
Yeah, he had me convinced that the Oilers moved first, but I've been accused of being biased. I've been accused of being biased.
When you coached, you never believed those offensive linemen. No. They said it was somebody else's fault. 1st and 10.5 for the Explorers at their own half-yard line, and here's the give to Derek Sterrett right up the middle, and he gets some breathing room as he crosses the 5 and takes it out to near the 8-yard line. A gain of 7 on that carry for Derek Sterrett.
That was a good hard run by Sterrett there, and he gave Marquette a little bit of breathing room now. Instead of being on the half-yard line, they're out to about the, 7?
Number 9, Derek Sterrett, the ball carrier on the last play. Up by the Oilers tacklers.
Looks like they're on the 9 now, Sam.
2nd down and 4 for the Explorers. Let's call it the 8-yard line. They send receivers left and right. Piper wide right. Wide left is Jimmy Lawless. And here's the give on the handoff. Up the middle they go, and that's a big scrum. Did he lose the football? The Oilers went diving in there. I think that was Sterrett again.
That was Sterrett again, yeah. And as we've said earlier, one of his issues has been protecting that ball.
He stopped at the 10-yard line. I think it was his helmet that came loose. He got up and didn't have a helmet on, and that may have been what the Oilers were diving on top of. They saw something loose down at the bottom of the pile and landed on his helmet. Sterrett picked up 2 on that carry, and it's going to be 3rd down. It's about a yard and a half for the Explorers from their own 10-yard line.
Right, and obviously a huge play for the Oilers here. They need to stop Marquette and make Marquette punt from their own end zone.
Marquette goes double tight. Everybody in tight, and they give it to Sterrett once again. And Derek Sterrett will have the 1st down as he takes it out to the 15-yard line. A gain of 5 on that carry for Sterrett. And another 1st down for the Explorers. Only their 7th of the night, but they've had so many big plays. They've had touchdown passes of 41, 63, and 92 yards. John Piper with 2 of those touchdown receptions, both in spectacular fashion.
And that's the only 2 balls Piper's had thrown to him all night.
Dalton Holm has completed 8 of 9 passes. 2 touchdown passes for Holm, 1 for Sterrett when he threw that halfback option. Back to pass Holm. Piper wide open down the right sideline, and Holm threw it over the wrong shoulder. Piper couldn't catch it because he couldn't stay in bounds to catch it.
No, even if he had made a 3rd spectacular catch, he'd have been out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, if he could throw that over his left shoulder instead of his right shoulder, that was going to be another long touchdown pass. Now Michael Ford limps off the field. He was down and injured on that play. So checking in for the Explorers is the freshman, Keyshawn Young. He saw some action last week. Young listed at 5'3", 120. Is that an exaggeration?
No, that's
about right.
That's probably correct.
You know, when you're 5'3", 120, can't you add a couple of inches? A couple of pounds? He's a freshman, though, so you don't get that inflation for that freshman. Back to throw, Holm, under pressure. Sidesteps a couple of tacklers. Now a flag is thrown, and Holm finds all kinds of running room down the left side, but that's not going to count for anything. And he's finally bumped out of bounds.
Yeah, he didn't know.
All the way up to the 35-yard line, but that was all for naught, as Marquette was holding all the way back at the 6-yard line. They'll move it half the distance to the goal line and put the football down at the 3.
Yeah, he didn't know it at the time. He was just wasting his time running all over that field because that flag came out. It was an obvious holding call.
And this game is degenerating quickly. It's suddenly, we had virtually no flags until the last minute of the first half. Then they managed to throw 3 or 4 in the last minute. And now they're getting a little flag happy here. And this second half could drag on for goodness knows how long. Unless Marquette gets the next score, and it's more than a field goal, then the clock would run throughout the remainder of the second half. We're down to 4:12 remaining in the third quarter. 36-0 Marquette. And they put that down at the 5. So it's 2nd and 20 for the Explorers from their own 5-yard line. Piper to the right, Jack Miller wide to the left side. Double wing formation, and Holm will go under center. On 2nd and 20. He takes the snap and drops the throw. They set up the middle screen. He's got Derek Sterrett. Sterrett, plenty of running room. Out across the 20, 25, 30, down the right sideline to midfield. He's going to go all the way. It's going to be a 95-yard touchdown pass from Dalton Holm to Derek Sterrett. No flags on the field, and the Explorers are on the board again.
Number 9, Derek Sterrett. I don't know when I've ever seen Marquette throw a 92-yard touchdown pass and a 95-yard touchdown pass. I know I've never seen it. So that's got to be a first in Marquette history, having 2 90-plus touchdown passes.
That's Sterrett's 4th reception of the night. So he scored a touchdown. He's thrown a touchdown. He threw. Well, have you ever seen one guy throw a 92-yard touchdown pass, then catch a 95-yard touchdown pass?
No, I hadn't thought about that. No.
And that time, Sterrett did what you scolded him for not doing earlier. He waited for the blocking to develop, and then once the blockers out in front had each picked off a man, he found an opening, found the near sideline, and then just outran everybody to the end zone.
And he picked up one key block downfield also, and I think that was by John Piper, who I'd mentioned earlier as being a great downfield blocker.
Marquette got a delay of game penalty there on the extra point, and now it's a long extra point attempt for Jimmy Wallace, and it's good from 25 yards out. And so with 3:49 remaining in the third quarter, the score now, Marquette 43, the East Alton-Wood River Oilers nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products. At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
you don't know Jack Schmidt
in Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
And for his downfield blocking too, I would.
Well, and the thing about it is, both of those touchdown catches by Piper were not great throws by Holm.
Right.
They should have been incomplete passes. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Nick Holford, kicking off for the first time this season, is getting a workout here tonight. He steps into it again, and this is a low-line drive that bounces once, and it's taken by the Oilers' return man. And up the middle, he got another good return by the Oilers. Jake Hughes all the way out to the 45-yard line.
Well, as we said, the Oilers' best play tonight has been their kickoff return, and again, they got another good one right there.
Well, Dalton Holm has completed 9 of 10 passes for 249 yards and 3 touchdowns. Derek Sterrett has thrown a 92-yard touchdown pass and caught a 95-yard touchdown pass. LaShawn Whedon has 4 receptions for 129 yards and a touchdown. And all John Piper has done is just caught 2 passes for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Piper's 2 catches were both spectacular.
Spectacular, yeah, absolutely.
Now here's the give to Adam Grace, and he is buried for a loss. As soon as he got the football, he was buried by Brett Greenwell and Sean Utley. And it's a 5-yard loss for Adam Grace.
Yeah, he was stuck immediately by Utley and Greenwell.
2nd down and 15 Oilers. The clock now will run throughout the remainder of the second half, with the exception of called and official timeouts and after scoring plays. 2nd and 15 Oilers, and again, here's a handoff. This time it's Adam Grace, and Grace picks up a yard, maybe. And he's not going to get up right away.
He's
a little slow in getting up.
Yeah.
Grace picked up a yard. 8 carries for 3 yards for Grace. Jake Hughes, 4 carries for 29 yards. Aaron Ragusa, 3 carries for 4 yards. So they have picked up a little yardage running the football here in the second half. And Aaron Ragusa has not attempted a pass. Well, he's 0 for 1 in the passing department here in the second half. 3rd and 14 Oilers from their own 41-yard line. Ragusa hands it off, and good yardage here to the near side for the ball carrier, Levi Lawson, as he crosses the 45 and takes it out to the 47-yard line. A gain of 6 on that carry brings about 4th and 9.
Keyshawn Young and Brad Emmett.
So now, 4th down for the Oilers, and they'll go into punt formation. And Ragusa gets a high short kick away, and the Explorers will get away from it. It takes a neutral bounce just straight up in the air, and it's down by the Oilers at the 30-yard line. And 1st and 10 Explorers right there as the final 50 seconds remain on the third quarter clock, and the clock continues to roll. They've not yet spotted the football and marked the ball ready for play.
It looks like Sam Marquette's got some new players coming out. Jack Miller's going in. It looks like at quarterback. Yeah, he is. Jack's at quarterback now. And I see a lot of fresh white jerseys out there, which is a smart thing to do. You're up 43-0. It's just about the 4th quarter, and it will be in 20 seconds.
Derek Sterrett remains in the ball game at fullback, and he might be a workhorse. It's going to be Miller keeping it himself, and he picks up a yard. Jack Miller. We were mentioning all those players with their offensive stats, but Jack Miller has 2 interceptions in this ball game.
Yeah, Jack's been playing some nice defense for Marquette lately.
That's the end of the third quarter. The score, Marquette 43, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from.
Yeah! Woo!
All right, let's roll in 3, 2, 1. Sam Stem along with Mike Slaughter back at Memorial Stadium in Wood River. 43-0 Marquette. As we start the 4th quarter, 2nd and 9 Explorers from their own 31. Jack Miller turns and hands it off, and up the middle goes
Blake Bamper. He's a number 23. He's a sophomore for Marquette.
So Bamper in there at the fullback position. And Blake Bamper picks up 3. And it's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Explorers. So Marquette Getting some backups into the ballgame. Jimmy Lawless comes wide to the left side. Another receiver wide right. Jack Miller on 3rd and 6 from the Explorer 34-yard line. Turns, gives it to Bamper. Big hole out across the 40, out to the 49-yard line. And a pickup of 15 on that carry for Blake Bamper, and another first down for the Explorers.
I'm going to take a guess that that's Bamper's longest carry of the year. He plays mostly JV. He's a tough little kid. Second year playing football. Played a lot last year for the freshman team.
5'9", 180, a sophomore. So he and Miller played together in those roles on the freshman team last year.
Right, and this year they're playing mostly together on the JV team.
1st and 10, Explorers from their own 49-yard line. Now they give up the middle. This is a different running back in here. That's good yardage down inside the Oiler 30. That was Sean Etley. Yeah, I should have known that from just by the way he ran. It looked just like his brother, didn't he?
He did. He stayed real low. It's like they didn't see him. They, being the Oiler defense, did not see him come through. And I think they were surprised he even had the ball. And that could be because he's wearing number 54 in the backfield.
Sean Etley with a 25-yard gain there down to the Oiler 26-yard line. Clock rolling with 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. So Etley remains in there as the fullback at this point. Jack Miller under center on the first down play, gives it to Etley, and Sean Etley dragging tacklers with him for a gain of 5 or 6 all the way down to the Oiler 20, maybe the 19. They're going to put him down right at the 20-yard line for a gain of 6 on that carry.
Yeah, that's the best I've seen the JV team move the ball in quite a while. They haven't had a lot of success in their JV schedule this year, but they've won a couple games, I guess.
2nd and 4 for the Explorers at the Oiler 20-yard line. 43-0 Marquette. That'll be the Explorers' second straight victory. The first time this year they've put 2 victories together. Now Miller fumbles the snap and covers it immediately for a loss of a yard. And it's going to bring about 3rd down for the Explorers. Marquette will improve to 3-4 on the season. And next Saturday night, they will return home to host the Roxana Shells at Public School Stadium in Alton. And the Shells and the Greenville Comets locked in a battle tonight. By the time you hear this, you'll know the final score, but we don't know what it is. But last we heard, the Comets led the Shells by 7 in the fourth quarter. A tight affair down at Charlie Range Field. 3rd and 5 for the Explorers. Miller keeps it himself, and he's got nowhere to go. Loses another yard, and it's going to be 4th down for the Explorers.
Well, I tell you, Sam, the Shells have really improved this year. And even if they lose tonight against Greenville, they've won 4 games already this year. So if they can beat Marquette next week, that could very well put them in the playoffs. And obviously Marquette cannot lose another game this year. With the Marquette win tonight, they've still got to win next week and the following week to have a shot at the playoffs. So that really sets up a really important game for both the Shells and the Explorers next Saturday night.
This is going to be a 40-yard field goal attempt for Jimmy Lawless from the right hash mark. They line it up to snap the spot. The kick, it's up, it's high.
It's short.
But it's short and a little bit wide to the right. But that wasn't a bad-looking kick. It might have been good from 35, but not from 40. And so the Explorers miss on the field goal attempt. Did Pat Keefe play for you, or was that before?
I was the assistant coach when Pat Keith was at Marquette. He played for Johnny Waters. And I tell you what, Pat Keith was one very good football player.
He played for Marquette against Calhoun when the Explorers head coach Tim Nelson played for the Warriors. The one time that Marquette and Calhoun ever met, it was on a Thursday night at Public School Stadium. And Pat Keith and Tim Nelson played against each other. Keith for the Explorers and Nelson for the Calhoun Warriors.
Do you remember who won?
Marquette won.
Marquette won.
Yeah. Well, in fact, I brought that up at the quarterback club meeting last year, and Pat Keith was the first one to mention that Marquette won that game. He remembered, and so did Tim Nelson. A 4-yard pickup there by Jake Hughes for the Oilers. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Oilers from their own 27-yard line. The clock continuing to roll with 6:15 remaining here in the fourth quarter, and Marquette with a 43-0 lead. Aaron Ragusa has thrown the ball only one time here in the second half. Pitches it back, and that's going to be Hughes trying to sweep the left side. He's got a head of steam now. A flag is thrown. Well, that must have been awfully flagrant, because at this point in time, there's no real reason to throw a flag unless you just can't get away with it.
Yeah, it's right in front of the official. It looked like holding on Brad Imming, being committed against Brad Imming is what I mean. Getting back to that time when Marquette and Calhoun faced each other, and I was an assistant coach, and our present coach, Coach Nelson, played for Calhoun. He and I were talking about that game about 2 weeks ago, and I don't remember it being as close a game as he remembers it being. He swears that it was a very, very tight game to the very end. I think the final score wasn't that bad, but in my mind, we dominated the game, but I think that's the way a coach always sees a win.
And I don't remember the reason they played on a Thursday night. It may have been, I think it was the final game of the season.
It was the final game of the season.
And I probably had a Friday night game, and the two teams didn't want to play on Saturday going into the playoffs.
We had the playoffs starting the following week, and it gave you an extra day rest.
And that was back when you had the Wednesday, Saturday format.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Playing a Thursday game before a Wednesday playoff game. Now here is Adam Grace, and he loses a yard on that carry. And it's going to bring about 3rd and about 20 for the Oilers from their own 8-yard line. The clock rolling with 4:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And the Oilers completely disdained the spread offense here in the second half. Almost everything's been a running play. The only pass was into the end zone. Now, here's Hughes right up the middle, and good yardage there all the way out to the 30-yard line. And again, that was actually from his own 13, so a gain of 17 on that carry for Jake Hughes.
Jake Hughes has had a nice second half.
He's 6 carries for 50 yards.
So maybe Coach Parmentier is finding something there. I don't know how much prior to this game that Hughes has carried the ball, but he's sure looked good this second half.
4th and 4 for the Oilers from their own 30-yard line.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen,
and we're down to 3:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. On the 4th down play, Aaron Ragusa puts the man in motion to the right side, pitches it back, and they try to sweep the right side, and it's going to be a first down for the Oilers. Out to the 36-yard line, Levi Lawson on the carry. Picked up 7 on that carry for an Oiler first down.
Well, and that's big for the Oilers. Get some first downs right now. Go for the little victories. Get the ball moving. Get some first downs. Keep that clock running.
Well, we got into all that discussion about Calhoun and Tim Nelson and Pat Keith just to make the point that Pat Keith has really turned the Oilers around, or turned the Shells around here in the 2010 season.
Tickets are 7.
Prior to tonight, they'd already
doors open at 7.
Picked up 3 wins and playing Greenville tough this evening down the road. Now here's Levi Lawson with another 10-yard pickup out across the 45, 9-yard gain out to the 46-yard line.
Well, again, this is the best the Oilers have moved the ball all night. Granted, the Explorers right now do have a lot of clean white jerseys out there, so they've got a lot of their JV players out there. But it looks like the Oilers, too, are doing a lot of subbing and getting kids off the bench and letting them play for their homecoming game.
And the Oilers next week will make the trip to Greenville to take on the Comets. 2nd and 1, East Alton-Wood River from their own 46-yard line. And here is the handoff, and that's going to be a first down, a gain of about 2 on that carry. And that was Hughes. As we're now down to 1:55 remaining.
And with that first down now, the Oilers, they'll be able to run out the clock with that running clock. And I don't suppose the Explorers will even call a timeout.
Does the clock operator get full pay when he doesn't have to do anything in the second half? He just turned that thing on and let it run. He's sitting right next to me. He says, I hope so. For 1st and 10 for the Oilers from their own 47-yard line. A wing to the right, a man in motion to the left side, and here is the give to Adam Grace, and Grace working the left side, crosses midfield and takes it down to the Oiler 49-yard line.
If the Oilers win today, they can get 2 more plays off. Otherwise, they're just going to take their time, and which they're doing right now. They're taking their time. They're just watching the play clock.
2nd down and 7. Oilers at midfield, down to 45 seconds, and now Ragusa is just going to take a knee.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And you'll probably have to do that one more time and this game will be over. They don't even go back and huddle now. Once they mark the ball ready for play, they start to play clock. And Ragusa will take one more knee and this game will be over. And the final score, Marquette 43, the East Alton-Wood River Oilers nothing. And the Oilers will make the long trip to Greenville next Friday night. The Explorers will come home on Saturday night, a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have it live for you here on the Big Z. The Explorers and the Roxana Shells. The final score, Marquette 43, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the River Bend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the River Bend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.